Hey everybody, hi. Woo, been a long day, you guys. I'm finally here. I made it. I had another broadcast earlier and I had been gone pretty much most of the early part of the day. And so it's time for Word of the Day. Embrace TV's 202nd episode. So I welcome you. I welcome you. Thank you for coming in. I did see somebody snuck in just that quick. Thank you so much. I am Darissa. I am the CEO and founder of God's Chosen Vessels. Hi, thank you for joining. And I'm also the creator of the Embrace Formula. And today is the 202nd episode of the Word of the Day. Yes, it is. For those of you who have never sat in on the Word of the Day, this is an exercise where we practice our perception. And basically, what we want to do is we want to get to the point where we see our life, our beautiful, chaotic, sometimes messy life the way God sees it. You know, everything doesn't happen the way we want it to. Sometimes things blindside us. Hey, how you doing? I appreciate you coming in. But you know, hey there. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. This is my new digs. This is my new setup for now till I come up with something different, right? And so I want you to get to the point where you see your life the way God sees your life. And that's a beautiful thing, because when you see it the way He sees it, nothing throws you off your game permanently. You know, every time, every now and then we'll have those little moments because we're human, but it's not permanent, because you remember whose you are, and you remember that God loves you, and you remember that nothing happens by accident. He's very intentional with what He does, and you are His, and He loves you, and all things work together for good to those who love the Lord. So, even if it doesn't feel good right now, hey, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. And I hope you invite your followers, and you just tap right there if you aren't following. And so you want to feel secure in the fact that God is God, and that He controls everything, and that nothing is by accident. And so even when it feels like, oh, this is not going to be a good thing, it really is. It's going to teach you something. It's going to grow you. It's going to stretch you. It's going to protect you. There's so many things that can come out of a bad situation. We don't see it. We don't know it all. That's where our trust comes in. That's where our faith comes in. I just put on Instagram, and please follow me on Instagram also. In fact, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and here on Periscope at I Am God's Brat. So you can follow me all across the board. I haven't got that Snapchat thing down, but it's coming. It's coming, you guys. But I just posted, faith or fear. Choose. You have to choose. You can't do both at the same time. You can't be faithful and fearful at the same time. You just can't do it. Not as a believer, you can't. Hey there, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Please invite your followers. So what we do for the Word of the Day exercise is we choose a word blindly from this glass. And when we choose the word from the glass, then what I do is I'll share my thoughts on what the word means, or what comes to my mind first, and also what I believe would turn the word around, especially if it's a word that is not the most positive word. There aren't the most positive thoughts attached to it. And so what we do is we practice doing this. Thank you for joining. Hi. So we practice doing this. It's a small exercise, but the goal and the plan is for you to get to the point where you apply it to the bigger things in your life. Okay, so when trouble comes your way, when those things blindside you, you can quickly kind of rely on this experiment, or the exercise rather, and say, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can look at this another way. Let me see. Okay, God, what are you trying to do here? And even if you don't give me the whole 411 on what's going on, can you kind of guide me as to what you want me to do, how you want me to maneuver through this thing, because I don't want to blow it. I don't want to mess up. I realize you're in control. And so use me, teach me, instruct me, guide me. Okay, that's what this life is all about. It's not about feeling like you're defeated. It's not about feeling unloved. It's not about feeling less than. That's not what's intended, my friend. That's not what's intended. This beautiful thing called life that He gave us It's to be enjoyed. It's to be enjoyed. And there's a way you can do that. And a lot of it starts with your perception. You know, perception of life itself. What is your perception of what your life is? What is your perception of what your purpose is? What is your perception of the things that happen day in and day out? What is your perception? What is the big idea? If you change your perception, you change your life. I promise you that. I promise you that, because a lot of it is how you see it. If you see that as a never-ending negative thing, then you tend to maneuver through life based on that thought process. If you see it as a good thing, then you tend to maneuver through this thing based on that thought process. You understand what I'm saying? So it has a lot to do with how you see everything, your perception. So I'm going to go ahead. Hey there, I see Miss Christelle has joined the group. Thank you so much for joining. And I know you're already following me, so please just tap those heart, tap, 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 tap. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining and coming aboard. So I was just explaining and what the word of the day is for some, and you missed the first little half, so you can always catch the replay. I thank my replay viewers for coming in today and just kind of hanging out. I thank you all. Hey there, Island Bob, thank you for joining. I see you on the monitor. So thank you for creeping in and kind of checking everything out. Thank you for the love and the hearts, and for inviting your followers. Thank you for inviting your followers. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick from the glass, and we're going to see what we can see. Somebody else just walked in the room. I need one of those sound effects that say, like the creaking door, so I can tell when, when people come through. Okay, so our word for the day is move. Can you see that? Move is our word of the day. Yep. Move is our word of the day. Wow, move. Well, the first thing that I thought about is moving. Moving sometimes is not fun. I have a military background. I personally have not signed my name on the dotted line, but I am a proud Air Force military brat. Welcome, K88LJD. This is your first day on Periscope. Thank you, my darling. Thank you and welcome. And so, you know, I know what that moving thing is all about. Also, in my adult life, I have had the beautiful privilege of living in many, many states because of the military background, so I thank Daddy for that. My idea of moving might not be like some, because in the military, you know, they send folks to pack up your stuff for you. So, you know, it's a different kind of thing, but once we became civilians, yeah, you're on your own. And so, hey there, thank you for joining. So even in my adult life, it's kind of one of those things you just got to put it together yourself. And shout out to my brother who's probably watching with my sister-in-law right now. Thanks to my brother, my moves have not been as stressful as they should have been, because I have a big brother always watching over me. So shout out today. But yeah, moves can be one of those things that there can be a lot of anxiety attached to moving. A lot of worry attached to moving, because sometimes you got to be in a certain place at a certain time, you know, and sometimes it's not like right across the street. It can be cross country, and just the whole organizing the move can be stressful. Going from one situation to another situation, no matter how carefully thought out and planned, can still be, can make you feel really anxious, can really make you feel worried. Hey there, thank you for joining. And so, yeah, so moving, or, you know, moving can really be quite interesting. But let's look at it this way. A move can be a good thing. What I have found in my 53 years of life, that sometimes, how can I put this? Because this is what the Lord just gave me. Okay, so check this out. Sometimes moving is needed, okay? There are some times that we just want to move because, oh, like say for instance, like our abode, you know, where we stay. Maybe it's a situation where we've totally outgrown it. You know what I'm saying? Say you're single and then you got the studio, right? And it's fine when it's just you and you coming and going as you please. But say you get married, okay. And then before you know it, baby one comes. Okay, you've outgrown that thing. You might be able to work it, but I don't think it's going to be that comfortable for that long. So you've outgrown it. So the need to move is necessary. Probably not what you wanted to do, because you really maybe have grown to like this little place of yours. But let's be real. having a crib and then the baby turns into a toddler, it's kind of like, okay, really? We need a bigger place. So that would be a situation where a move is necessary, but not necessarily something you want to do. So sometimes moving, even in life, I believe that moving is a good thing, but it doesn't necessarily feel good. And I believe that moving from not only a physical location, but say a mental, hey, amen, a mental location, a spiritual location can be a really good thing. But because we're so comfortable and because we like where we are and it's all we know, we won't move unless prompted, unless we get uncomfortable. And sometimes I believe that our life situation, hey there, the Richard Ball, thank you for joining. Please invite your followers. Let's get some more people up in here to listen to this word, because I think this is a good word, because what the Lord has given me is moving might not be on your list of 1 to 10 things to do, but it should be, because sometimes we can get so comfortable in a situation that we would stay here forever. Mentally, spiritually, physically, we would just stay here forever if it were up to us. And so sometimes God will allow certain things to happen that will cause us to move. And that can be, hey, Joe Smith. My godbrother's name is Joe Smith. I wonder if that's him. I don't know. He's Joseph Douglas Smith. Just wondering if that's you, because if you're on Periscope now, praise the Lord. So, sometimes God will allow things to make us a little uncomfortable where we have no choice but to move. So move from that situation that's probably uncomfortable, move from that job that could be uncomfortable. Because if it weren't for the discomfort, we would just sit there forever. And how do you get to welcome Hammy Hamza? Thank you for joining. I'm so glad this is your first day on Periscope and you decided to come visit. Thank you for that. Welcome, welcome. Please touch those 3 little dots over there so you can follow me and you'll get the notification, because I come on every single day. And so, if you don't allow yourself the freedom to move and to grow, what kind of life is that? So since we as humans are comfortable, we can get comfortable even in uncomfortable situations, if that makes any sense, because we can be afraid of the unknown, or we just don't want to be bothered with the move, or it's too scary to try something different. We sit right there in that thing, whatever that thing is, an old job, an old way of thinking, an old relationship, or whatever that thing is that we've basically outgrown, or basically probably shouldn't be in the first place, but we sit there because it's comfortable. Okay? A comfortable way of doing things, even though we've done it a zillion times and it still ain't working. What's that definition of insanity? Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, like, duh. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. So if not for sometimes God giving us a little nudge, just a little nudge, make them a little uncomfortable. There's an example I love. For those of you who listen to me all the time and you follow me, I love me some Pastor Joel Osteen. He's my pastor and he doesn't know it yet. But if anybody knows him, please tell him. He has a parishioner here in Sacramento, California. Anyway, I digress. And Pastor Osteen always talks, he uses this beautiful example of the mama eagle. And I think I've said this before, but for those of you who are new, okay, bear with me, I'm going somewhere. Okay. The mama eagle has her little eggs, and she's waiting for her little eggs to hatch. But before she lays the eggs, she builds a nest, and she builds the nest by, gathering thistles and thorns and lint and leaves and twigs and just whatever she can find, and she makes that nest strong and sturdy, and she puts it up high to protect her babies from predators, of course. And so that she can know when she flies away or whatever, everything she's gonna come back, it's gonna be all good. But when she builds that nest, she builds it, like I said, with a lot of thorns and things like that. And then once she layers it up, she covers it pretty much with feathers and leaves and things that are nice and soft. So when the eggs finally hatch, they're in this beautiful nice little apartment that the mother has built with love and care, right? It's beautiful to watch nature and to see how animals, how God has programmed to do things a certain way. And so anyway, so they hatch, and then she feeds them, and they get bigger and bigger. It comes to a time where they're going to have to get out on their own. Now you can imagine they're comfortable. This is all they know. They know the beauty of this nest. They know mama's going to go and papa's going to go get food and bring it back to me. Why should I leave? I'm living high off the hog, right? Right? No, baby, it's time for you to go. So what does the mother do to egg them on to do this, to edge them on? She takes her beautiful, majestic wings and she starts flapping. So she flaps and flaps and flaps and flaps. So you can imagine, think about the nest and how it's made. What starts happening when she's flapping? The feathers, the leaves, the lint, everything that's light blows away. So what does that leave? That leaves the thorns and the thistles. Well, somebody's going to get mighty uncomfortable. You're going to have to do something. Now, in the world of slang, there's a certain saying about, you know, either you're going to do this or you're going to get off the pot. Some of y'all might know the rest of that. I'm not going to repeat it, but you know what I'm saying. I ain't been saved all my life. There's a saying. This is what the babies have to do. You either going to sit on them thorns or you're going to get up out of here. Okay? So this is their nudge. It was made uncomfortable to prompt them to do what? To move. To move. Because you got to learn how to fly, baby. You got to learn how to do things, some things on your own. You got to learn how to deal with life. And the only way you're going to do it is to get up out that comfort zone. Now, if it were left to them, they'd have never left that nest. They'd have been this big, and the nest is this big, and they just sitting there with the wings and legs and everything else just kind of falling out, just lazy. They would have never left. This is the way it's set up, so they can get out and try life on their own. So I use that example to say that sometimes life has to get a little comfortable for us to take it to the next level, to get out and try life on our own, because that unknown can be scary. We do things a certain way, whether it's dealing with relatives, whether it's dealing with a job. Hey, Rob2740, thank you for joining. If you're not already following me, please tap on those dots. We're talking about move and the importance of moving. And I don't mean just exercise. That's important too. But we're talking on another level here. And because this is a perception exercise, so we're talking about how moving forces us to see our life differently. We see our life as maybe not the best thing, but this is comfortable right now. So I'm just going to sit right here because it is uncomfortable as it is. It's not unknown. I know what to expect. I know if I do this, this person is going to do this. I know if I don't do this, then this is going to. I know how it is, and even though it's not a desired outcome, it's familiar. So I'm just going to sit right here until I'm 82, and instead of experiencing the fullness of what God may have for us, you got to move, people. Sometimes you got to move, and moving takes faith. You see, so what I said earlier about that fear and faith thing, how that works hand in hand. You know, you can't have one and the other at the same time. So when it comes to moving, are you going to sit there and be fearful and just stay in that spot for the rest of your life, doing things the same way, expecting a different result, and then get mad because your life looks a certain way? Or your other option, which I think is a better option, because if you are a believer, you remembering whose you are, then why not take the faith approach and go on and move? Go on and move. Of course. You know how many people in the Bible did things that were foreign to them? You know, I think of Brother Moses. You know, you're talking about, okay, you're going to send me back there to free who? First of all, I got a speech impediment. So who's going to listen to me? Pharaoh going to look at me like I'm crazy. Really? First of all, he's going to have to understand what the heck I'm trying to say if I can get it out, because I stutter. You know? So, but Lord said, no, you move. You move, I will speak for you. You understand? Let's think about Brother Noah. You know, people, I don't know if everybody know that Noah was a drunk. I'm just saying. And, you know, people laughed at him. The Lord told him to build an ark. And to build it so big, he gave him specific instructions. And of course, that just made absolutely no sense to Brother Noah, because last time I checked, it ain't rained. know what I'm saying? So he had to be obedient. Hey, Michelle Lopez, how you doing? Thank you for joining, my sister. Thank you. Please just tap those dots, and then you can come in when I come in every single day. Hey, so I'm just saying. So, you know, it was a faith thing. He had to do something different. He had to get up and move. He had to get up and move. He had to be obedient. We know the rest of the story. You know, let's talk about Mary and Joseph, Jesus' parents. They had to move. Mary never knew a man. And what that basically means, she had never had relations, if you want to put it nicely. She never had sex. So how in the world is she pregnant? And according to what's going on then, we gonna shower everybody with love. We bless everybody that comes in. God bless you, my sister or brother. Thank you for coming in. And so we're talking about moving. We're talking about moving. And so, you know, on faith and not fear, she had to walk that thing out, knowing what the people were going to say. You think Mary was a young girl. You think she didn't get talked about? You know what I'm saying? You think she didn't get talked about? You think Joseph didn't get talked about? You know, because, you know, you're marrying her and that's not your child? You know what I'm saying? So they had to move. They had to do what they had to do. And in this particular case, they moved in faith. They moved in faith because they believed God for what he was going to do in their lives and how he was going to use them to help usher forth and to raise the Savior of the world. How cool is that? Can you imagine if they didn't move? Can you imagine if they didn't have that faith? Can you imagine what would have been different, you know, if they decided, I don't want no parts of this. Nope, ain't gonna have folks talking about me. I don't think so. You understand what I'm saying? So things would have looked so different. So, okay, so let's apply this to your life. What is it that you're so fearful of that's keeping you from moving? And let's talk moving spiritually, moving in your dreams. My husband and I just had a conversation maybe about an hour and a half ago about dreams and why is it when we're younger we have them, and then what happens is life starts happening and those dreams just kind of fall on the wayside, but you find yourself like me, 53, trying to catch up when you finally get a hold of that thing because you are reminded of whose you are. And everything happens for a reason, and in God's time, and there's a season for everything. So I'm not going to go as far as saying, you know, I wasted time. I waste time. I've learned some very valuable lessons, and I'm thankful for what I've learned. But what I'm saying is, what is it that's keeping you from moving? Hey, Tiff, how you doing, baby sister? I'm so glad to see you. So what is it? Yes, God bless you. We're talking about moving and what keeps us from moving, what keeps us in a spot spiritually, physically, mentally. How do we allow Satan to keep us stifled, scared to move? You know, because God is trying to take us somewhere. God is trying to gift us something else. He's always trying to enhance our lives. This is all the time because he loves us so much. He's got so much to bless us with. Good. I'll be here, but I will. Okay, sis. Thank you so much for popping in. You know I love you. Ain't a thing you can do about it. Not a thing. And so, you know, we want to move toward him. I believe that when we get closer to him, we can hear him a little clearer. We can hear him clear. We can hear what he's trying to download into us and not be so fearful to move when he gives us instruction. And you know, you feel it in here. He has different ways of speaking to all of us. So how I hear him, how I feel him might be different from you. But as a believer, you know what he's trying to get a message to you. And you get somewhere and you get quiet and you try to figure out what he's saying to you. Lord, make it clear to me. I just said that earlier in the conversation to someone today. You know, Lord, speak to me. Show thyself. Ain't nothing wrong with that. He wants to know that you're relying on him. So Lord, make it plain. Smokey Norfolk sings, I need you now. Not a second, not a minute, not an hour. I need you right now. Like now, like today, like show thyself. Because I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you, you know. And I'm sure it makes his heart smile when we make it crystal that, yeah, I'm sold out. You understand what I'm saying? I'm waiting for your instruction. And I'm sure that makes him happy too. You know, that you ain't trying to do this thing on your own, that you're relying on him. You think he ain't going to deliver? Come on now, because you his child. You are his child, and he's ready to give you marching orders. He's ready to help you move. And so when you get uncomfortable, you don't sit there because you're comfortable in the uncomfortableness. You understand what I'm saying? And so Satan's going to try to get you to stay there because, yeah, it doesn't feel good. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, I'm a little fearful, but it's familiar. So I'm just going to sit right here. No, you can't do that. It's those times. Remember the example I just used of the mama bird, the mama eagle, what she does. Sometimes those feathers are going to get fanned out that nest, and you're not going to have anything left but those thorns. It's then that your faith should go into action. You think those birds aren't scared when they looking down? Like, you want me to jump where and do what? You know what I'm saying? Same here. But he's going to be there to catch you. He's not going to let you fall, especially if he's the one telling you to jump. Especially if he's the one telling you to move. He didn't let Moses down. Moses was probably scared to death. You sending me back where? To face who? To tell them to do what? When? Okay, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. You understand? I'm sure that's the brother's attitude. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure Noah said, okay, I'm supposed to gather up who? Two or what? Do you know how many animals? Okay, and do they even live in this region? Okay, and so what about the fish? Wait, I'm going to go old school. What about the fishes? How am I supposed to, you know what I'm saying? You think he didn't have questions? So move. When he tells you to move, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You got to go on and follow that instruction, but that's where your faith and your trust comes in. Trust me, he's giving you marching orders. He's giving you moving orders. And it doesn't have to be big, like physically taking up your house and moving from one side of the country. I mean, that might be it too. If you're in the ministry or if things are going on your job and it's getting real good. Okay, why would he want me to move now? It's looking perfect. That would be the very reason he might want you to move, because it's looking perfect. He might be ready to take you to another level. It's not always in the fire that he molds us. He's also teaching you something when things are looking good, y'all. When things are looking real good. Because it's like, okay, my job is done here. Time to go to the next level. So once again, so it doesn't have to be uncomfortable. To God be the glory, Tiffy. I saw you. So, you know, it doesn't have to be a uncomfortable situation where he's trying to move you from. It could be the perfect situation. I have arrived. I got the promotion. I got the wife. I got the husband. I got the kids. I got the car. +1. You know, I got the perfect in-laws. You know what I'm saying? I got a little extra something in the bank. You know what I'm saying? It's looking good. Oh, wait. You want me to do what? You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, no, Lord, you can't be talking to me. I think we got some interception problem. I think I intercepted somebody else's call. Because surely you can't be talking to me. You know, sometimes it's like, okay, no, daughter. No, my son. I need you to move over here. I need you to move. Your season here is done. It's done. You've talked to who I needed you to talk to. Your past have already, but I sent you there so you can witness to this one. Or I sent you there so you could help this one. Or I sent you there for nobody in particular. I know how you was living. I like what you're doing, so I'm going to put you over here so this 5, 6, 7, 8 people can see what you're doing, because they need that. Speak of Abraham moving with fear for not knowing where he... Exactly. But it's a faith thing. It's a faith thing. It's a trust thing in our God. So exactly. That's why I was saying earlier, Ted, there's so many of our brothers and sisters that are mentioned in the Word, and some not even by name. What they did was a faith thing. The woman with the issue of blood. Jesus was like, okay, somebody touched me. That was a faith thing. And it was faith on her part, faith on her part to move through that crowd. They said the crowd was crazy. I mean, come on, Jesus was a rock star. You know what I'm saying? By our modern terms. You see? And so she was like, I don't care if it's gee gobs. That's one of my grandmama's words, gee gobs. There's gee gobs of people out here. Y'all got to move. I got to push through him. I got to get to him. You know what I'm saying? That was a faith thing. Sister was hustling. She was getting there. You better say that, a female quarterback. Yes, she was. Oh, this gonna happen today, because I don't know if I'm gonna get this chance again. What? Jesus is in town? Oh, okay, yeah, right. Let me catch the light rail. Let me get on a donkey. Whatever I gotta do. And she made it happen, because he felt the virtue go right out of him. He said, wait a minute. Somebody touched me. And the disciples, our brothers was like, Jesus, of course somebody touched you. It's like 20 zillion people around here trying to get at you. You know what I'm saying? You know? starstruck or whatever. Everybody wanted to be close to him, some for miracles. Everybody in that crowd wasn't looking for a miracle. Now, I'm sure we had a couple of sisters out there. Jesus was probably fine or whatever. You know, power is attractive to a lot of people. And even though everybody didn't believe, this man had some prestige. Just like that. Oh, did you hear that Jesus? That Jesus is in town? Girl, what you doing? Come on. Girl, yeah. Is he single? You understand what I'm saying? Come on, everybody in the crowd wasn't all about our Father's business. Let's be real. Hey, Amanda, thank you for joining. I'm just keeping it real. Let's bring it to modern day. That's how ain't nothing new under the sun. There was some what do you call them when they chase the stars or whatever? Y'all, what am I trying to say? The ones that be whenever somebody come to town, groupies. That's the word I'm looking for. Jesus groupies. I'm sure they existed. There probably wasn't a word for them then, but y'all know what I'm saying. So, you know, I digress. I don't even know why how I got there. But I'm just saying, to keep it real, you got to move in faith. You got to move in faith, even when it looks good. Yeah, even when it looks good, when it looks bad. And that's when it goes back to who you got your eye on. Who are you following? Because, see, if he gives you your marching orders, your moving orders, you're going to be ready to go because you trust him, even if it don't make sense, even if it doesn't make sense. That's what I say. It's not about you. You got to get up out yourself. Get up out yourself. You know, you might want to get on that. You might want to get on that. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm saying what you want to do is you want to keep sharpening those intimacy skills, you know, and practice getting close to him, and practice getting to know him, and knowing when he's nudging you. And you know, for me, and I mean, I can only speak from my own experience. There was a time in my life when I found myself, you know, walking around the house talking to him like he was sitting right there in the chair, and actually laughing out loud like he just told a joke. I'm like, okay, yeah, you my friend. You my friend, you know. And referring to him when I found out that he loves me, and how the thought of me probably just makes him smile because I'm his child, you know, and he wants to see me. Oh, sorry, I kicked the camera. Wants to see me do well, you know, and that's just such a good feeling. That's such a good feeling. And knowing that all my cares are his cares. And all the things that I'm coming to him with and will come to him with, he's already there. He had already worked out. He's just, okay, I'm going to sit here and wait for you. You know, I get that free will thing, so I can't do everything. I'm going to give you enough. You know, I'm looking out after you every day. I'm waking you up every day, and that breath you took, yeah, I did that too. You know, there's some things I'm going to bless you with that. Even if you don't say thank you, I'm going to go and do it for you anyway. But there's some things I'm going to sit back here. I got to wait and see what you're going to do. You know, I know what you're going to do, but I'm giving you that free will. I'm going to let you, you know, operate in your own genius, so you think. You know, and so, you know, he's wonderful like that. So I was like, P, I just want to give people that want to blame God for everything. You know, you got a choice, right? Just saying. So anyway, again, I digress. Y'all know how I do. So yeah, move. This is a fantastic word. This is a fantastic word. So thank the Lord for moving. So my challenge, you know how we got to tweak this for a challenge. So what is it in your life where are you in your life, in what area, spiritually, physically, mentally, in your job, on your home? What are the areas where you feel comfortable? Where you feel so comfortable, you're not even willing to admit that you're so comfortable, even though it's not a comfortable situation. That's one thing I want you to ask yourself. So again, using the example of the birds in the nest, how the mama made the nest very, very comfortable for them, and when they hatched, they're good. But it got to a point where she got rid of all that, the fluff, the feathers and the lint, and the things that made the nest comfortable, until they had no choice but to learn how to fly. Because now ain't nothing sticking up but the thorns. So you're going to have to get up out of here, bro. See? So what is it in your life that's, if you're honest with yourself, you say, this is not a comfortable place to be in, but because this is all I know, this is where I've been for a minute. So I'm just going to sit here because it's comfortable, because that unknown thing, kind of fearful of that. So I'm just going to sit right here. So you need to move from that. You need to move from that. So that's one way of looking at it. So let's flip it. Since the Lord gave us that too, let's flip. What is it that's fantastic? What area you're pretty much content? Even if it's not a joyous thing, it is at least content level. that you like, okay, I can chill right here for a minute. I can park it right here. Right here. Thank you for coming back, Chris. I can park it. Okay, so what are those? So what are those areas in your life? And for all those areas, good, bad, indifferent, my question is, why aren't you moving in some way? Why are you staying stagnant? Why are you not growing? Because, if you're not moving, you're not growing. That's what I believe. You're not, what are you doing? What is your purpose? What is your purpose in these situations? And are you ignoring the fact that God might be giving you some marching orders, some moving orders? Only you can answer those questions, and only really God can give you the answers to them, because sometimes we might not be there filling out. So we really want to know what he has to say. That's more important. Hey, Sophia, worshiper. Okay. What worship therapy? Oh, that's cute. Worship therapy. That's sweet. I like that. To God be the glory. So, thank you for joining. I'm gonna see if you have some periscopes, because that sounds very intriguing. To God be the glory. Worship therapy. That's sweet. I love that. Okay, so please follow me if you're not already, sis. I appreciate you. And so we really want to get to the point where we say, okay, God, I'm ready to move. Whatever that move looks like. I'm not even gonna sit here and waste time trying to figure it out, because you'll show it to me when I need to know. It could be just a mental move. Okay, sis, love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Tiff. I do. God bless you. And so, even if it's a mental shift, that's still a move. That still counts as a move. Okay? And so, ask God to show you that thing. Ask him to give you play-by-play. Ask him to instruct you. Ask him to guide you. Reveal that thing to you. He will. When you ask for wisdom, he gives it freely. When you ask for discernment, he gives it freely. He's not a stingy God. He's not a stingy God. But what have you done to show him you even want these things? Have you just simply asked? That's all you got to do. That's really all you got to do. People make stuff so complicated. God is not complicated. He wouldn't be complicated, because we wouldn't have to sense enough to figure him out. He made this thing so easy breezy, it ain't even funny. It's really not funny. But I think because it's so easy, we think it should be harder than it is. That's not the God we serve, y'all. That's not the God we serve. It's really easy. Come to him the best way you know how. And that's as you are. Get somewhere in your corner and just say, look, help. It's really that simple. If you got more words than that, that's fine. God bless you. If you don't, that'll do just fine. Because he's God. He knows your heart. He knows your heart. He knows your needs. He knows your wants. You ain't got to be all eloquent in speech. You ain't got to have a PhD. It ain't that deep. It's really not that deep. And people need to understand that. It's not that deep. Come as you are. Tell him what you need. He already knows. But it's just like a father or I'll just say a parent. But that thing that you feel when your kid comes to you, for those of us who are parents, and they say, Mom, I need blah, blah, blah. Well, you've been in the room. You've seen the tennis shoes, how they looking. You already know. Or how about that day when 5:30, 6 o'clock is approaching, dinner's almost ready, and they just keep, I got boys. I got some grown boys. But that thing they do when they've been back there in the room for a while, and then you see he come in there and start a conversation, and he'll leave. Then they'll come back again. Then they'll leave. About an hour past, then they leave. This is the whole time you in the kitchen. What they do? They checking to see if dinner ready. They ain't gonna come out and say nothing. You already know. Dinner gonna be ready in 10 minutes. You already know that, but it's something about them coming and looking. It just kind of make you feel some kind of way. Look at my baby, can't wait for my cooking to be ready. It's just something about them coming and letting you know they need a need. Our Father, I'm sure, takes pleasure in us asking so he can give freely. Yes, my child, thank you. Here. He's full of blessings. Hey, Odell. He's full of blessings, and we have not, because our crazy butts don't ask not. It's just when you learn how to ask your daddy for stuff, and that's why I am God's brat. I'll ask in a minute, in a heartbeat. You sit there and be closed mouth if you want to. I ain't doing it. Hey there, how you doing, bro? So, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because I know whose I am. It ain't got nothing to do with Darissa and how smart she thinks she is. No, because we all on the level. See, that's the beauty of this thing called being a child of the King. We all on the same playing field. It's level. I don't care what the enemy has told you about, well, you did this, you did that, and blase, blase. We ain't going out like that. Because trust me, I've done my share of dirt too. We all have sinned and have fallen short of the glory of God, according to the word. Oh, to God be the glory, brother. Thank you for joining. If you're not already following me, tap those 3 little dots. I come every single day, and I bring you a word of the day. That's what this is, you know. And we take a word today. Our word is move. And you know, the word is move, and we take it and we flip it. We tweak it. We try to see our life the way God sees our lives. You know, like I said, some people try to make they take it, they putting 5s and 20s on it. They're doing too much. Our God is not that complicated. He's not that complicated. It's not about, you know, us judging ourselves. Satan will have you thinking that you unworthy, you unlovable. Oh, look what you did, and God ain't gonna love you. Stop all that. Tell that punk, P-U-N-K, a persistent, unnecessary nuisance on your conscience with a K, to get up out your ear. You got to learn how to fight him. You got to tell him, rebuke him, throw the name of Jesus on him. That booger got to go. He can't deal with that. That's what the word says. Hey, what's up, Coleman? Carolyn. I'm assuming Carolyn comes before Coleman. So God bless you. Thank you for coming in. Please tap those little dots right there. So, you know, our word of the day is move, sis. And so, you know, that's one of the tricks. That's one of his main tricks. That's how he gets you. That power of suggestion, that thing ain't no joke. Because he'll get in your ear when you start feeling some kind of way about yourself. And I'm here to tell you that there was a reason why he put this thing called salvation into play. Because ain't nothing you can do that's going to separate you from his love. He loves you. That's why he did what he did. He already knew what kind of characters we were going to be. Even on our best day, we're not perfect. Even on our best day, we're not perfect. He said, okay, I got you, boo. I love you. So this is what I'm going to do. Check this out. I'm going to send my only son. And I'm going to send him to walk around on this earth for 33 years. So ain't nothing you experienced that he ain't never experienced. Because he already got that. So you can't come and say, well, I did. Okay, yeah. I know what you mean. And really mean, he knows what you mean. You know what I'm saying? Because he walked among us. And so, you know, and then I'm going to let him, now check out the wording. I'm going to let him give up his life. And he's going to freely give it up. They didn't take it, so don't get that twisted. Ain't nobody took nothing. He gave his life because he loved us so much. Period. Dot. And then you know what happened in 3 days, right? You know what happened with 3 days. Oh, you know Satan, well, he wasn't feeling that. He wasn't happy with that at all. Oh, well, kick rocks. So I'm just saying, he did that for us because he knew there would be a time when we would slip. He knew there would be a time when we couldn't get we can't get salvation ourselves. We can't pay for it ourselves. He made a way for us to always have access to the throne room, to always have access to him, to always have access to salvation. And the beautiful thing is, it's free. It's free. You ain't got to give so many dollars to an organization. You ain't got to have no degrees. You ain't got to talk eloquent in speech. I'm telling you, there's some bad motivators that's even mentioned in the Bible that did some things, and we ain't going to talk about Brother Paul. Brother Paul actually, he made it his business to kill Christians. That brother wrote most of the Bible. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Anybody can be used because he doesn't love you more than me and me more than you. It doesn't work that way. So I know I digress, but somebody needed to hear that. You are his favorite. How about that? Now, I like to think I'm his favorite, but you his favorite too. And so are you. And so are you. You know what I'm saying? So, take, what's the word I want to use? Take courage. Know whose you are. Know who he is. When you really know who he is, then that faith and fear thing is out the window. You ain't even got to worry about fear. If you are always aware of who he is, if you never let yourself forget that, and then in turn, you turn around and say, okay, not only is he the God of everything, the creator of everything, I'm his child. He calls me friend. He knows me by name, every hair on my head. He created me. And he'll never abandon me. He'll never leave me. I need to become, but do that. What's stopping you, bruh? What's stopping you? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, so you develop that relationship, and when you become secure in who you are, then you realize that nothing is impossible. So that moving thing, fear goes out the window. Then you can move mentally. You can move from that stinking thinking. You know what I'm saying? And ask the Lord to help you. Hey, what's up, Jean? Thank you for joining, girl. Good to see you. So when you ask him for that discernment, when you ask him to give you the inside scoop, you know what I'm saying? When he gives you that inside scoop, then you know automatically, okay, God's finna do something. He's getting ready to use me to do something. You're not afraid of that move. Whether it's in a business, whether it's been on your job, hey, to God be the glory. So whether it's in your frame of mind, the thinking, and please catch the replay, Jean. I beg you, this word turned out to be a very, very good word. I mean, who would have thunk it? You know what I'm saying? To God be the glory. So so what I'm saying is, you just need to you need to know that's the start, is knowing whose you are. Not who you are, but whose you are. And then in doing that, you remember that you are his child. So when he gives you your marching orders, when he gives you that nudge to move in the business, or to move, change your thinking, the way you see things, then it's not scary. That fear has no play. I mean, Satan gonna try it. Don't get it twisted. He ain't gonna never get off your back, because that's his job. That's his job, 24/7. 365 plus an extra day on leap day. You understand? A leap year. You understand what I'm saying? That's what he does. He ain't gonna never let up. Now he'll back off for a minute, especially those days when you really feeling yourself, you really understanding whose you are. He'll back up for a minute. Oh, but he coming back. Trust and believe that he coming back. And let me share this little tidbit with you before I jump up out of here. The closer you get to God, what I found in my 53 years of life, the closer you get to him. Y'all start being BFFs, that's when he start pounding a little harder. Said this to somebody earlier too. When you start growing and depending on God, Satan says to himself, okay, they doing too much. They done messed up and found the source. So now I got to do double time. So his list of 10 things to do that day, guess what, boo? You 1 through 9. Oh yeah, he coming double time. Now, don't let that scare you, because he ain't got no power. He ain't got no game. And if you've read the book, in the end he loses, you win. The fight is fixed. It really is. So you can't let that scare you. You see what I'm saying? But he gonna try it. Because his job is to kill, destroy, and try to get you off your game, get you to lose focus. So when God tells you to move, when God is instructing you, when God is blessing you, he wants to distract you. That's what it's all about. If you get distracted and you start listening to what he's saying, he lost before, honey, you better say that, Jean. You better say that thing. And he knows that. He knows that. But that ain't stopping him. He like a pit bull. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against pit bulls. I'm just saying. He ain't letting go. He ain't letting go. I like to say this. This is going to paint the picture. If you understand God's love, if you understand how much he loves you no matter what, if you really understand that, then you understand how much Satan hates you. They're polar opposites. If you can understand this one, there ain't no way you can't understand this one. You can't acknowledge the love and not acknowledge the hate. There's no way. Well, I don't know if there's a Satan. Well, then you saying ain't a God then. Because how you going to acknowledge this one and don't acknowledge that one? So if you can wrap your brain around how much the Father, God of everything, loves you, yes, you, then you need to, that's the beginning of understanding how much this joker can't stand you. How important it is. Just as important as it is for God to make sure that you accept him and that you be with him in heaven one time, this joker over here, it's just as important for him to take you out. What's up, sis? That's right. It changes everything. It really does. You can't acknowledge one without acknowledging the other. Please catch this replay. Today, if I must say so myself, God done gave us some nuggets today. So please catch the replay. Our word today, sis, is move. I know you just came in. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, move. And so, yeah, what's up with you? What's up with you, woman of God? So, yeah, just really acknowledge the fact and know that that's just like God is the lover of your soul. Let's put it that way, because he is. He's the lover of your soul. He wants nothing but to love on you and to receive you in. You know what I'm saying? Just like he loves you, that joke over there hates your guts. He know he's lost. He know he's out for the count. He knows in the end he don't win. You think he ain't trying to take you with him? As many as he can. So it's like, that's why I said in my Instagram post today, it's like, okay, you're going to choose a side. Faith or fear. Which one is it going to be? You can't straddle the fence. God don't like that lukewarm thing. That is, and not how I like to put that gray. I don't do well in gray. God don't do well in gray. Please know that. Please know he ain't feeling the gray. 50 Shades or not. He ain't feeling that. So whose side you gonna be on? You gonna have to make a call. And you ain't got all day to do it. My next favorite saying, you might want to get on that. I'm just saying. You see? So you're going to have to make a move. You're going to have to make a move, a mind shift. And you're going to have to ask God to help you with that thing. It ain't necessarily a bad thing. I think right before Jean came in, I was saying first, what the Lord I thought was giving me was, sometimes we have to be uncomfortable in order to be nudged to move. Otherwise, we'll sit there all day, even if it's uncomfortable. We'll sit there because it's familiar. And be that in a relationship, in our spiritual walk, in our, some things just ain't working. It just ain't working. You at a job and you like, okay, why am I here? I'm just taking up air and space. Really? You know what I'm saying? And it's not fulfilling. That could be that. It could be a relationship. It could be your spiritual walk. It's like you kind of a robot. You just kind of do, okay, Lord, okay, I'm not growing. I'm not using my skills. I'm not using, are you trying to give me a ministry? But no, that's scary. I don't think I think I'll just sit right over here on this pew. The one with my name on it every Sunday. Yeah, I'm going to sit right here. Because, see, this is comfortable. This is comfortable. And sometimes we got to get up out of ourselves and we got to move. Yeah, you might want to get on that. So I'm just saying, thank you, Gene. So you know what I'm saying? And so we were talking about that at the beginning of the scope. But the Lord dropped the nugget. How about those times when everything's perfect? Everything's perfect. And you think, well, why would I move if I got the car, the money, the man, the clothes? Ha! Why would I do that? Because maybe that season is up. Maybe God trying to take you someplace else. What he had you to do, whether you know what it is or not, mission might be accomplished already. So now, my daughter, my son, I'm trying to bump you to another level. I see you were faithful in that, so I got to move you over here. But see, we don't want to move because this is comfortable. Oh, it's looking good. You want me to do what? I'm just saying, what? No, I don't work too hard, Lord. I done paid too many dues, Lord. You know what I went through. You know how they talked about me, Lord. I have arrived, Lord. We just talk about, we come up with so much. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no. But when he says move, you best to move. That's right. There you go, Gene. There you go. He trying to move you up to another level. He's trying to use you in another way. You got to trust him. That's it. So that's why we were talking about that trust. That trust, it makes a difference between that fear and that faith. Fear and faith. Can't do both. So you're going to have to trust that he knows what he's doing. You're going to have to remember whose you are. So when he says move, in whatever capacity he says move, you take your marching orders, you pack your knapsack. For those of us who are older and remember little Abner, there was a big long stick with the kerchief at the bottom that was his belongings. You take your knapsack and you get to moving. That's what you do. That's what you do. So to God be the glory. I praise God for this time with y'all. Y'all know I love you. I do. I feel my wind. And I'm going on about an hour and 45 minutes worth of sleep. Y'all to swear I had five Red Bulls and a latte. Sometimes I crack myself up. It's like, Lord, where all this energy come from? Ain't nothing but God, y'all. So y'all please pray for this crazy chick right here. That Lord continues to bless me and show me and give me the energy to just to show up and just do, I hope, something that he has given me. And I always want to give glory to him. Something that he has given me in my crazy self has resonated with you, and you found something useful in it and helped you think of things a little differently, because that's what this is all about. This is word of the day. This is all about perception changing. So I'm thankful that you guys got the notification, came in to see what your girl was talking about, you know, and to fellowship with me. This is the part that I love, that we fellowship. Are you? Yes, oh yes, my sister, yes I am. You know, and just trying to get to the point where, you know, we're trying to learn more about him and feel comfortable coming to him. That's my prayer. My prayer is that everybody feel, yes, we you know, in reverence, you know, God is God. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you, Jean. I do. Thank you. I love you for that. Because you know your sister over here trying to work hard, trying to get it together. I'm trying to move up to your level, bro. My sister's about to get her a badge. Yes, she is. In the name of Jesus, let's all touch the camera and agree. Yes. So, so yeah. So I'm just saying, you know, I want us all to get to the point where we're comfortable. God is our friend. He's our friend. He is our friend. Marinate in that for a minute. What is, I mean, and it depends on your perception of friendship. So I'm not even going to ask you what your idea of it is. I'm going to say, ask God to show you what his perception is, what his definition of. Because whatever you think or whatever you experience, because we tend to put labels and limits on God based on our horizontal experiences. And y'all that have been rolling with me for a while know what I mean by the horizontals. We are the horizontals. You know, that's your relationships that go like this. That's horizontals. He's the vertical. You see what I'm saying? So when we start talking, you know, when we start thinking about our horizontals, we tend to kind of use that as a baseline or a reference point to how we see God. I think Father's Day I talked about, you know, depending on our relationship with our dads, our earthly dads, that sometimes kind of transfers into how we see God the Father. You know what I'm saying? To some degree, maybe not all the time, not 100%, but there's a foundation there of understanding that seems to get transferred into, you know, if you have never experienced a loving Father, if you have never experienced someone who would just go all out, they put you first, you know, by any means necessary, he'll get out there and tackle a bear with one arm behind his back, kind of thing for his baby, then you can't comprehend to a certain degree a heavenly Father who, you know, who will lay down his life for you. I mean, you can say the words and probably understand to a certain point. I'm not saying it's impossible, because that's not the truth. Because if that was the case, we'd really be in a mess, because a lot of people wouldn't be able to. I'm just saying your understanding from person to person who have probably experienced the same kind of thing with their earthly father tend to kind of be grouped maybe the same way, but their understanding might be a little limited until God intervenes, because he can make that thing, he can reveal that thing to you. I don't care what your experience is. So don't get it twisted. Don't twist up what I'm saying. I'm just saying that we tend to sometimes kind of limit it, not willingly, not knowingly. It just is what it is. If that's your experience, like I'm gonna use an example. You know, I am one of those. Okay, I'm gonna go off. I ain't gonna talk about people. I'm gonna talk about swimming. As much as I want to swim, I'm 53 years old. I don't know how to swim. I'm just going to put that out there, be transparent. And it has nothing to do with me liking water. I love me some water. I'll get in the water, but to a certain degree. Because I know I can't swim, I ain't stupid. I ain't getting out there when the water comes. I can go about like this, and I'm good. When we start getting too close to the mouth, okay, back it up. Back it up. You know. And so my experience is such, if it took me forever to get on a cruise ship, because that was my experience with water and my understanding of water. It took me 40 years. Literally, my first cruise was when I was 40. Yeah, you ain't getting in the water, but it was based on my understanding of water. I ain't got no gills. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so stop playing with me. It took a minute. Now I don't see what the heck I was waiting on. It's the only way to travel as far as I'm concerned now. But that was 13 years ago. So I'm saying my understanding was based on my understanding of water and my experience of water. Did that necessarily make it true, accurate? No, that was just my experience. So I'm just saying, I'm using an example of, you know, it is what it is. You know what you know. You've experienced what you experienced. And there's no way it cannot, I don't want to say hinder, influence your understanding with your relationship with God. I'll put it that way. Because it is what it is. And it's not that it has to be a bad thing. It just is what it is. So that's all I'm saying. I'm going to back up off that before I say too much and say something wrong, because I don't want to offend anybody. But I'm just using the example of sometimes our interpretation is based on our experiences. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And so, I want us to get to the point where when it comes to being his friend, even if we don't have the best friendships, even if sometimes we fall in and out of love with our friends or whatever and have words, everybody, everybody's understanding, I hope, comes to a place where they understand true friendship with him. True friendship with him. And that is my prayer. That is my prayer. Okay, so hey everybody, thank you for coming in. Those of you who just come in, y'all please, for the last time in the house, invite your followers and share this out as much as you can. I thank you for rolling with your girl. If you didn't see the beginning, you haven't watched the replay, please do so. I'll just put it that way. Please do so. I think there was some nuggets there. This has been awesome. I love this. So I thank you for joining me. I love y'all. Anything you can do about it. I encourage you to embrace your life and purpose. I encourage you to cherish your time with others and the time with the Lord. Cherish that. Cherish that. He woke us up this morning, giving us another chance to get it right. Don't y'all blow it. Ask him to show you if and when he wants you to move. And how. If, when, and how. How about that? If he wants you to move in some aspect of your life. Okay? I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Happy Friday. Lord say the same. I'll be back tomorrow sometime. That's how I'm living this summer. Used to be early morning. I get in where I get in. I thank y'all for joining. I'll be back with the word of the day tomorrow. I also have a Perry Girl Express at 10 o'clock Pacific time. I think we're talking about summertime, so I'm going to have my Will Smith on board. Hey, we're going to talk about summertime memories, so I'll just give you a hint. Summer to me is Philly. It is what it is. So all my Philly folks, I love y'all. I need my Philly fix. Usually it's about this time of year. Won't make it back, but that's okay. I'm going to pay tribute tomorrow morning. Will Smith ain't got nothing on me. North Philly in the house. All right. Love y'all. And the thing you can do about it. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, my sisters. I see you. I see you.